Well, hey friends, I'm in my kitchen today because it is almost dinner time and it is Friday, which means around here it is pizza night. I love to make my own homemade pizza dough when I'm feeling it, and tonight I'm feeling it. There's just, I don't know, I really enjoy homemade pizza. It's so good. But tonight I'm also going to make an extra batch, maybe 2 of dough to throw into the freezer for later. This particular recipe makes 2 pizzas, so we'll probably do 2 pizzas tonight. My mother-in-law is going to come over and, you know, we're all just ready for some pizza. So I'm going to share with you the recipe that I use and how I do it, and it's pretty quick and easy and it's super delicious. So your recipe is going to call for yeast. I love to use the pizza yeast by Fleischmann's. If you can find this, I highly recommend it. I don't know what it is about it, but it says it's formulated for pizza crust, and I find that it does make a difference with the pizza crust in just the taste and the way that the dough comes together and the way it, I don't know, it's really good. If you can't find this, no big deal. I just get this at the grocery store. I found it at Walmart. It's just a little over $1. And you get 3 packets. If you can't find the pizza yeast, regular yeast will work fine too. So the recipe calls for 1 tablespoon of yeast into 2 cups of warm water. I just use warm tap water. I let it get about as hot as I can stand it with my finger. So I fill this 2-cup Pyrex measure with the warm water, and then I go ahead and add my tablespoon of yeast. This is proofing the yeast to make sure that it's active, and you're going to allow this to proof for about 5 minutes. While that's proofing, I'm going to go ahead and add 2.5 cups of all-purpose white flour into the bowl of my KitchenAid mixer. I've got my KitchenAid mixer fitted with the dough hook. I've got the 2.5 cups of flour inside. I've got my water proofed with all of my yeast, and I actually have a cup of flour waiting here to mix as needed. The recipe calls for an additional 2.5 cups of flour, so I'll just go ahead and add those. My jar's just a really big, heavy jar of flour, so we're just going to use the cup for now. Okay, when your dough is nice and incorporated and it's not super sticky to the touch any longer, you're going to go ahead and cover your mixing bowl with Saran wrap, and you're going to let this rise for 20 minutes. While my dough is rising, I'm going to go ahead and get my cheese shredded. So you can certainly just use a hand grater for this, but I'm actually going to go ahead and use my food processor. It's just going to be a little bit quicker for me at this stage of the game. Okay, so once your dough has risen, you're going to go ahead and you're going to take on your pizza stone or your baking sheet, whatever you're using, and add a little bit of olive oil and coat the whole stone or sheet, whatever you're using. And then you're going to just divide your dough in half, roll it out the size of your stone, and add your toppings, and you're going to go ahead and get this thing baked. so here's how the pizza kit came out. Pretty well. I would suggest that when you put your dough inside of your smaller Ziploc bags, that you do oil your hands before doing so, because the dough is really, really sticky after it does its rise. I also shredded all of this mozzarella cheese, and I just stuck it in its own separate bag, so it's all ready to go. So I'm just going to throw this in the freezer, and then on the day that we decide to have pizza, I'll just pull it out. I plan to do this again. It was super simple to do. I just kind of ran out of time this evening to do more than one kit, but we got this ready to go.